Welcome back everyone. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. Something that I really like to do all the time are my nails, and I figured I'd try a little video out and see how it goes. I'm just going to keep it really simple today and do a natural nude colored gel polish set today. And I'm using Leaf Gel's polish system. It is a Japanese company. It's amazing. I really love the polish, and I love the little pots because you can really use up all of the polish. Now these are what my nails are looking like. They need a break. You can see I chipped some there. This is not the same polish. This is a different brand and it just didn't last. So I'm gonna go back to using my Japanese gels. As you can see, we're going to lightly buff everything, all the shiny stuff you see, buff it out. If you feel any thick parts are there, make sure you sand those down too. I'm using the 100 grit side. You would not use this on your natural nail, just to kind of get the top layer of gel polish off. And I'm going to be really careful on my finger and make sure I don't hit that raw nail area. Now my nails had acrylic on them before, and then I was like, I need a break from acrylic and gel tips and stuff. My nails grow pretty long, so I can definitely just wait until they extend themselves. I do have some nail damage though from when I went to get acrylics. It was actually I've been to a few nail techs and I get this every time. You know, the little rings on your nail beds, the little ring of fire. Yeah, I get those every time. I haven't met someone who's not proficient in those yet. I think it's just too easy to make a mistake and accidentally just drill too much in your nail. So I'm also waiting for that to grow out as well. Now let's just collect all this dust, because the dust really can get in the polish and just mess everything up and make life harder. So I'm using some eco gloves. These are biodegradable. You can use these for cooking and mixing things. That's what it's usually used for, but I'm going to use it for my nails. And I try to be as earth conscious as I possibly can, and just, you know, that's why I like the pots as well, because you can't recycle the top parts of nail polish bottles. So the little pots you actually can recycle. And I'm using some C&D foil wraps. This is just so much easier and convenient. You can also recycle these as well. And we're going to go ahead and use some 100% acetone here. And I'm sure you've seen this before. A lot of people can do this themselves at home. It's so easy to do. It just takes a little practice wrapping your nail. But these foils make a huge difference because they're a little stiffer. And they set really nice and they stay in place. I've used some other ones that are cheaper online, but there's really, C&D's the best one. Now that that hand is done, I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the glove. I should have got a medium because with foils, it's sometimes I can bust the side, but if I'm cooking, I can just use these gloves as a small. So just keep that in mind, go a little bit up so that you can fit the foils in. Now I'm doing my right hand. I am right-handed, so this side is always just hard for me as well. So you'll see mostly me painting the left hand, my good hand. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to get these on as best I can, but you see, it's not too hard. Just use a little assistance from your other fingers. Okay, and let's do the same thing we did with the left hand and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I was able to get this one on and not break it, so we're gonna let that sit for about 20 minutes. I ended up doing about 25 to 30 on a certain finger, and you'll see that, but here has 20 minutes have gone by, and I'm just going to do one nail at a time and keep the gloves on the other nails, and you'll see how easy the other ones will come off since they got to sit a little bit longer. Now I am using a metal pusher. I never use wood. I don't know why. The wood is just, if it's not necessary to waste wood, then don't. I've been using the same pusher for years on my nails. So this one's a little stiffer, so it needs a little more time. I usually do a thicker polish on like certain fingers, like the index fingers and the thumb, since they're heavily used. We're going to put, and what's nice about having the glove, you can put a little bit more acetone and just kind of contains it there. We're going to put that one back on, next finger. Now that one looked like it came off all the way, so let's go ahead and like zoom in here in a second and see how it looks. Now that index finger was so easy to get off. Now this middle finger took forever. You'll see throughout the video I'm like struggling with this one. Now I'm not forcing the polish off with the pusher. I'm just trying to get whatever is loose, and I will let it keep soaking because I just really don't want to damage that nail. So I'm going to file a little bit because I noticed it was a little thicker on that side, probably in the last curing process, and that was my first time using that gel on my natural nails. I'm not going to name the brand because I wasn't too happy about it, but it's a really common brand. That one I didn't even need to scrape down. I'm just going to go ahead and scrape down this pinky really quick, and everything is off on that hand, and you can see that. And I'm not too worried about my nail getting scratched because they're already damaged, so we're just gonna let them go until they grow out fully with healthy nails. And I'm scraping very lightly, so don't worry too much. Let's go ahead and re-soak that middle finger. You'll see how much trouble that middle finger really gave me the whole time. So I'm gonna speed up this other side, and you can see it's much easier coming off on this side. But let's just go ahead and speed it up, put some music on, and we'll move on to the next step soon. Let's go back to this hand, and you can see that polish does not want to come off. I was about to cuss, but I ended up getting most of it off. I'm just going to keep soaking it and just be patient. Sometimes nails, you just need a lot of patience. But let me get all this debris and dust out of the way, and I'm going to go ahead and start shaping my nail. As you can see, the direction I'm going in is in one direction. When you are filing natural nails, go in one direction. Don't go zigzag back and forth. Make sure you pick up the file and go. You'll thank me later. This just helps really protect the nail. I also want to point out I am filing with the 180 grit side, which is very soft, and you can use that on natural nails. These files, I just got some cheap ones on Amazon, and they work just fine. They're also called emery boards. They're not the best quality. They do shed, but I mean, they get the job done. So no harm, no foul. Now I'm just going to quickly buff here with another higher grit little buffer I have. These are disposable. I'll probably just buy one that I can reuse a lot better than these tiny ones. But I didn't file a specific shape because I always change my mind towards the end. I never tell if I want square, round, or pointed. Now, as you can see, the damage that I had from 2 manicures that I got from other people, and they just drilled right into my nail. So we're not going to buff too much, just enough to get off any polish that I missed and just kind of try to smooth it out, because when polish sits on ridges, it doesn't look good. So you'll see mine here in a little, but here's what it looks like. They look pretty good. Now I'm just going to use some cuticle remover just to kind of clean up. I don't have crazy cuticles, so it should be relatively easy. This stuff is really good. It works fast, and I'm just going to use my little pusher again and just gently push. I don't have too much because I kind of get manicures often and do them myself often as well, so they stay relatively clean. But when you use a cuticle remover, it just makes it so much easier, and it's just less damaging with less friction and pushing that you need to do. With this one, I actually see I can just wipe it right off, and you'll see me wipe it here in a little bit with a lint-free cotton pad, and the cuticle just comes right off when you just wipe it. Have no water, no acetone, no nothing. It just comes right off. I'm gonna move on to my other side and just be really gentle. It's so awkward working on this hand, but I can still get it done. Saves you some time, some money, and it'll be done right. If you practice enough, you can save a lot of money on manicures. Now I do have a little bit of skin that I see on a couple fingers, and I'm just gonna gently get those off with nippers. I'm not a fan of nippers. I can just really get everything off with the cuticle stuff, but I just had a couple nails that were overgrown. Now it's gonna go in with alcohol, and we're gonna clean up that nail, disinfect it, get any shine off, and that's really all you need to prep for the Japanese gel. I am going to use a couple different brushes I have. And remember, when you're jumping from pot to pot, don't mix the formulas. Make sure you wipe it off with alcohol. Your brush, wipe it off with alcohol. But I'm going to take a little bead here and just go right in with a base coat, nice and thin. And it even has a high shine for a base coat. Let's let that cure for 1 minute. And you can see I keep my gel brush to the far back as well as a covered pot, and it can easily cure if you're anywhere near the light. So always remember that and keep it back away from your LED light. So now that I'm done with the base coat, you saw me wiping my brush, I'm going to move on to the actual color. This is my favorite color. This is number 124 of their line. It is the perfect nude color. You almost have to have this in your arsenal. I'm almost done with it. As you can see, I've worn it many times, and it's just my go-to color for anything. If I'm not feeling creative, if I don't want to design, I just want some natural looking nails, I go for this color. Now, as you can see, I'm just going in with a really thin layer. I'm not really building the nail yet. I'm just going in with a really thin layer to coat it. You can see I have the ridges coming through, and they'll probably still come through up until they grow out with such a natural color. But I just need a really thin color, and what I love about pot gels is that when you get a brush like this, it's just so much easier to paint your nails and be more free with it, and just be more creative too if you wanted to get different sizes. But it covers the nail so well, as you can see. Now, a way I could have probably corrected those ridges was put actual a nail builder gel, and that would have camouflaged the actual ridge and everything. But I'm trying to not put so much stuff on my nails. I just really want to get a nice coat of polish, and this will harden and protect my nails efficiently and effectively. Now I repeated that process with the color 2 more times, so I have 2 coats of the actual color, and I'm going in with a top coat. And this top coat, I'm being a little generous, but you can see I don't really need to put any more on my brush. It fills up like 3 or 4 nails at a time. And it just really requires very little, but I am putting a little more on the nails that have ridges just to kind of smooth out that surface a bit. And you'll see it gives like such a high shine. Again, I'm not trying to build the nail. These are not builder gels. This is more of a polish, but they're so strong and such good quality polishes that your nails will be very protected. Now what I'm doing is using a lint-free pad and going ahead with some alcohol and just rubbing that inhibition layer off and that tacky layer. So you can see here that my nails are looking pretty good. This color is very pigmented, so I only needed a couple coats and it just really covered everything well. You can see how natural that looks, and maybe I'll do one where I'm a little creative. I do like to do nail designs all the time, but today I just wanted a really natural nude color. And I'm just going to go ahead and finish up this other side here. And you can see I'm almost done with everything. I used every last drop in this pot, and I even cleaned it out with some alcohol, and it was easy as that. I'm going to use this for some diamonds that I have. You're going to see the final results here and try to recycle natural daylight, and they came out really well. You can see I didn't cap off the ends because I always change the shape, and I went with a more pointy oval here, and I just love them. If you would like me to show you more nails or maybe go in more depth, just please leave a comment down below and make sure you subscribe. Until next time, y'all. Bye.